everybody, this is Keith here of Euphoria Pictures. Welcome back to my channel. Right, so for this video I am going to be unboxing and reviewing the 4K picture for my latest pickup that I got for Starman. Now, if you're aware of my channel, you have to know that John Carpenter is my favourite director of all time, and whenever one of his movies comes out on 4K, you can bet your ass I'm going to come in here, knock on my camera and share my thoughts on it, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. And it goes without saying, I am going to take you around this Steelbook and give you a proper look at it. Happy to do so. So, if you're not particularly aware of Starman, like I said, it is directed by John Carpenter. It stars Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen. And it's basically about this alien craft. It gets shot down. It crash lands very close to Karen Allen's house. The alien gets out. He goes into Karen Allen's house. He finds this photo album. And he finds a lock of hair from Karen Allen's dead husband. He clones himself into Jeff Bridges. And basically it's all about Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen. He has to get to a certain place. I think it's in Arizona. It's a crater in Arizona. He has to get there in 3 days or his friends are going to leave him there. He's going to be stranded on Earth and he will die. It's essentially E.T. It really is. With a hint, just a hint of Close Encounters. And I think when you see the ending of it, you'll know exactly what I mean in terms of Close Encounters. So yes, it is a very, very different movie from John Carpenter. I think the reason to why he directed it, I'm not going to say it wasn't a passion project, but he did it because he wanted to get back into the good graces of the studios, because he was coming off the likes of The Thing and Christine, which didn't get much critical praise back in the time, and they didn't particularly do that well in the box office either. So yes, he took this on to keep the studios happy, and even though this one didn't particularly make money, it did get a lot of critical praise. Mainly to do with Jeff Bridges. As a matter of fact, he was nominated for an Oscar. It's the only movie that John Carpenter done that actually got nominated for an Oscar. So yes, he was back in the good graces of the studios, and then he went on to do Big Trouble in Little China, and let's just say the studios hated him again after that. There's no winning with them, unfortunately. So yes, it's something a little different. It's big time different, as a matter of fact, from John Carpenter, but it comes highly, highly recommended. Now, I've spoken about this movie a couple of times on my channel. I'm going to talk about it here, and then I'm not going to talk about it again. But on streams, this got brought up about this movie and the impact that it has on me. As much as I love it, I have to put years in between viewings because the movie upsets me a lot. It leaves this mad, crazy, lasting impression on me to the point that it kind of puts me into a bit of depression. And I quickly came to the realization it's not necessarily the movie that's doing it, it's actually the music that's doing it. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm presuming, I spoke to Ellen about this numerous times, and I think something happened to me. Something must have happened to me when I was younger. Something that massively impacted me, that really upset me. And I'm presuming this movie was playing in the background and that music was playing. And all of a sudden, every time I hear that music, it has that connection to that point in my life that really upset me. The thing is, I've effectively blocked it out of my memory. I have absolutely no idea what was upsetting me. And the thing is, I don't want to know. I don't like delving too much into it in fear that I will remember what it is. There's definitely skeletons in the closet, and I want to keep them fucking in that closet. But yes, there's something about the music on this one that really upsets me. And when I think I was dropping Ellen to work last Thursday. And I told Ellen that, oh, Starman is coming today, and we're going to be watching it that night. And Ellen kind of looked at me and she was like, you're going to be okay because you're going to be upset. And I was like, look, we'll see how it goes. It's been years since I've seen it, but the last time I seen it, I was very upset, to say the least. So I dropped Ellen anyway off to work, and I was heading back home. And all of a sudden, I was sitting in the car, and I was actually humming the music to myself. And all of a sudden I could feel the tears coming down my face, and I was like, this is absolutely crazy. It's amazing that music can have such an impact on you. It's incredible, it really is. So anyway, that night we watched it, and Ellen was kind of just nestled into me. I had my hand on her lap. All of a sudden the music played. Ellen said she could feel my hand tightening on her lap, and then she just looked at me and I was gone. I was absolutely flooding with tears, and I'm not afraid to admit that either. So she settled me down. We continued on with the movie, and then the ending came to it, and all of a sudden I was gone again. And the only thing I will say this time when I watched it, it didn't have that kind of lasting impression on me. We instantly knocked on another movie, which was Karate Kid. And that's a different thing. That's a different beast altogether. And it kind of took my mind off Starman. So I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's to have such a movie to have such an impact in terms of his music it's unbelievable. But like I said, I don't want to dive too deep into it in fear of unlocking what it is that actually bothered me when I was a young child. I'm happy to keep that out of my mind space. So again, apologies for ranting on there. I just wanted to put that story out for you. So with that said, I am going to take you around this Steelbook. I'm going to give you a look at it, and then I'm going to come back and review the 4K transfer for you. So yeah, here we go. Right, so here we go, the Starman Steelbook. So there is a J card. Naturally, I want to bring it in and let you have a look at it. Now, I forgot to talk about the special features that you get on this release, but I will take you in close and let you have a look at it. But as you can see, you get an audio commentary from John Carpenter and Jeff Bridges. There's 21 deleted scenes. You got behind the scenes there as well, 2 featurettes, a music video, still gallery, and theatrical trailer. So yes, nice to see that there is a few special features on here. You got your technical information, your credits as well. And it's a simple paper J card. It just wraps around the Steelbook. So put that to a side and let's get on with the Steelbook itself. And I have to tell you, I love the artwork on this Steelbook, particularly the scene that they opted for. It is right at the end of the movie. I'm not going to say anything in fear of spoiling it for anyone, but I love the colour scheme in particular. It looks absolutely incredible. Has a lovely high gloss finish to it as well. Granted, there is no debossing or embossing going on, but take nothing away from it. It is still an absolutely wonderful Steelbook. Even the print on the image, when I take it in close, look at that. It is perfect. It really, really is. So yes, very happy with the artwork on the Steelbook itself. So I will take us then onto the spine of it. And right around to the back. And once again, they have opted to use a scene from the movie. And as you can see, it is the craft crash landing. And it's through the perspective of a window. And of course, you got the portrait there of Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen. And just like the main artwork, the print on the image does look... It looks amazing, it really does. But I have to tell you, a little bit of, you know, debossing would have made... Or even embossing, I should say, would have made a world of difference. Maybe on the frame of the window, just to add a little depth to the image. But again, take nothing away from it, I still love it. And when you open the Steelbook in full, like, both images are so drastically different to one another in terms of colour scheme as well. So that's the Steelbook. I will turn it in, and you've got your 4K disc, and then of course you've got your Blu-ray, which I won't have any issues taking out, which I am, and I'm not even going to try. I have no fingernails and I can't take it out, so apologies for that. But the only thing that's behind the disc is Karen Allen and Jeff Bridges, and you've got the car as well, so apologies for that, folks. And there you have it. That is the Steelbook of Starman, and very happy that I ended up picking it up. Right, so making my way onto the 4K transfer. Now, this release has 2 things going for it. 1, it's a Sony title, so you know there's going to be a bit of effort put behind it. And 2, it's a John Carpenter movie on 4K. And if you're familiar with John Carpenter on 4K, you have to know every single one of his movies that have come out looked absolutely incredible. And this might be one of the best, and that is no exaggeration. It is that good, and all the credit in the world has to go to Sony for the effort they have clearly put behind this release. Now, the grain structure on this one is very fine. It really is. Now, don't worry, there is absolutely no issues whatsoever when it comes to digital noise reduction being used. A very fine grain structure. It is beautifully consistent. It never fluctuates, even in those kind of low lit interior shots. Sometimes with a movie of this age, you know, the grain structure could look a little heavy when it goes indoors. Absolutely no issues. It's fine. It stays fine throughout the entire movie. It looks incredible. The implementation of Dolby Vision is incredible. It really is. I use this word a lot, particularly on movies like this of this age. Everything just has a more natural looking appearance to it. The colours are not overly vibrant, which is great, particularly when you see the car that they're driving throughout it. You'll know exactly what I mean when you see it. Again, everything just very tastefully handled, right down to the skin tones as well. No one has this kind of like this over reddish look, so they don't have this bronze look to them. Again, just very, very natural colours, and that's exactly what you want to see for a movie like Starman. The fine detail across the board is astonishing. It really is. And there is so much to marvel at, whether it is on facial details, clothing and textures, interiors, exteriors of buildings, all top notch. It really is. But I have to tell you, the deep blacks that you see on this one is truly astonishing. And I want to single out one scene. I'm actually going to single out this scene twice. One for picture, one for audio. It's the scene where the alien craft is crashing. And just check out the background, that night sky. It is beautifully deep. Those blacks look incredible. But then when the craft explodes, you get this massive explosion. And those oranges, they never bleed into the blacks. As a matter of fact, it kind of reminded me of The Thing. When you look at the segment where MacReady blows the compound at the end, just look at it. You get those beautiful deep blacks. You get the explosions, but like I said, they never bleed into the blacks. It is an absolutely spectacular looking image, and that scene in particular really stood out for me. I kind of said to Ellen, wow. It felt like my screen just became a window, and I was just looking through it, looking at this explosion going off. It really is that convincing. And then when you throw in that increased shadow detail as well, it makes a significant difference to this image. Folks, do not second guess yourselves on this one. Like I said, this is up there as one of the best 4K transfers I have seen for a John Carpenter movie. Might be one of the best 4K transfers that I've seen for an 80s movie. That's how good it is. And not only that, it comes with the added bonus of Dolby Atmos. And this is borderline reference as well. I'm not kidding. It's audio, it's the perfect audio for the perfect image that you're seeing. The low-end bass in particular took me by surprise. There's a scene right at the start of the movie where you see the alien craft for the first time. Wait till you hear the bass that's rolling out of this thing. We were looking around and I was like, I cannot believe everything in this room is shaking because of how much low-end bass is coming out of that scene. And you hear a lot of that throughout the movie. Even the higher channels, the way it's used. Going back to that scene that I mentioned about the alien craft crashing, it's a pretty cool effect when it comes to your higher channels, because it starts on the top right hand corner and it just makes its way through that sound space, and I think it ends up in your left back speaker. Again, it elevates that scene. It really does. I've never heard it sounding as good as it does on this 4K release. But that's not only it when it comes to your higher channels. They're used quite a lot throughout. There is so many scenes where you see helicopters, and the helicopters are seamlessly floating above your head. And they always seem to work well when it comes to helicopters, higher channels, particularly in John Carpenter movies. Even when you watch Escape from New York, there's a great sense of activity in terms of helicopters throughout that movie as well. But there's a lot going on in this one as well. Even the score of that movie, even though it pains me, as beautiful as it does and it really upsets me, there's no question about it. You've never heard this music sounding as good as it does, and it's because it's firing out of every single speaker in your sound system. It's a very good active mix. You're going to appreciate some of the activity that's going to come out of your rear speakers as well. And the dialogue sounds incredibly clean as well, beautifully centered, and there's no kind of hissing coming out behind the voices, which I hear sometimes. It's a perfect Dolby Atmos soundtrack. It really is, and it's worthy of that 4K transfer. It really is. So there you have it, folks. That is my review, and as you can see, I haven't taken the smile off my face throughout this video, so I think that's a testament to how good this movie looks and sounds on 4K, and this one comes highly recommended. So with that said, I am going to let you go. So as per usual, if you did like what you see here, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you could leave a comment down below, and please do share your thoughts on this movie. And yeah, I hope to see you all again real soon with my next video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.